Un, deux, trois. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Grain of Salts, where I give my opinions that you should take with a grain of salt. So today, I've been thinking about doing this topic for a while, which was the ASAP Rocky thing. And I know everyone's kind of talking about the ASAP Rocky thing, but the thing that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about, but I think is interesting, is a race thing. It like I know it's clear to me that ASAP Rocky being locked up and everything is he's being used as an example, but also could it be a possible race and prejudice thing that's keeping him in jail? But I'll get to that later. First, I'm gonna talk about our boy Marcus Hyde, because that's another interesting thing. So basically, what happened Monday, I would say, a couple days ago, this celebrity or this person on Instagram, Diet Prada, um, exposed this photographer called Marcus Hyde. And he's famous for doing photo shoots with a lot of celebrities like Ariana Grande and Kim Kardashian, who have now come out to say that they're disgusted with his behavior. But I'm going to read a little bit from Global News. And so basically, there's these screenshots, and then he was saying that he was doing. I guess what he was saying is that he would do free photo shoots for girls, and then this girl messaged him, and he is like nude, and she's like, "I don't have nude photos. I'm only comfortable shooting in lingerie or partial nudity." And then he said it's 2K then, and he's like, "Yeah." And then all these things, and it's like nude is basically she's like, "Oh, it's 2K then." It's like, "But nude is free." Yeah. It's like, "I can shoot nude, but I don't want to send you nude photos." Then don't. uh but nude is free. Yeah, okay, I can then don't. Okay, do you still want to shoot then? Yeah, it's 2K because I won't send you nudes of myself shooting. Yeah, gotta see if you're worth it. Which is crazy. And I think it's a little interesting because, in my opinion, I'm not condoning what he's saying. That for sure, for sure, for sure, he shouldn't be trying to use his celebrity clout or whatever to get these attractive models to send him nude photos. But at the same time, I think you should definitely pay your photographers. And I'm not talking about him because he's a scumbag and everything. But I have a couple friends that I grew up with or I know from high school and just growing up that they're photographers or videographers. They're on their hustle doing their grind, and I'm proud of them. So good for them. But I see things that a lot of things they like to repost, or I see them retweeting on Twitter, is to pay your photographer or your videographer, because a lot of people think like they just take photos and then they touch it up and then it's basically nothing, and that it's a job that anyone can do. And trust me, being a photographer is not easy. Like even me, like this year or last year I took a videography class for school. I'm taking it again this year, and trust me, when you just shoot so many, like it's crazy when you have this idea, this concept, you storyboard it and everything. You go out, you shoot everything, and then you're going back and trying to edit it. Especially with us, where you had like time constraints, where you have to do it within 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, and like you make such good content, but it doesn't turn out the way it you wanted it to be. So I can only imagine for photographers that are sitting there spending hours and hours to make your photo look perfect, and people don't want to properly pay you. Like, I think for sure you should always support your friends at whatever business endeavor they're doing, but you should also pay them, especially if they're your friend, because they work very hard, and it shouldn't be like a freebie or a pass just because they're your friend. So definitely pay your photographer. But this whole Marcus Hyde thing, I think it's interesting because he's a scumbag, but at the same time, I can see what he's doing. Like 2K or nude. It's a pretty good deal for him. But yeah, don't fall into the trap of stuff like that because people like that are crazy. But yeah, Marcus Hyde. I can't believe he really went and did that. And I'm not really surprised by stuff like this because I think there are a lot of people out there who have fame or clout or whatever, and they're in a position of power and they power trip. You see it all the time. You see it in your job, at school, on even like on social media, like other social media, like influencers who aren't really like, I don't know, I would say celebrities, but they're content creators and they have some sort of pull, and they think that because they have this pull, like 2K followers, which is oh my god so much to some people, or 100K followers, they can just get things for free, and they, I don't know. I'm someone that watches a lot of JK News, or I read a lot of articles because it's related to what I have to do for school, and it all comes back to the same thing. A lot of entitled millennials, and it's like the younger ones, so people like around my age group and younger. So I think it's just kind of upsetting that they're giving us such a bad name, but at the same time, like this whole new world of social media and social media influencers is crazy, and definitely have to figure out a way to work around it. But yeah, that's all I have to say on Marcus Hyde and whatever the hell he was doing. But at least Kim Kardashian and Ariana Grande spoke out against him. Uh, I have just read some shocking and heartbreaking stories. I hate that this is a conversation, but please do not shoot with photographers who make you feel uncomfortable or make you feel like you need to take your clothing off if you don't want to. If you want to, sick, but if you don't, please don't. Grande wrote, I promise there are so many respectful, nice, talented photographers out there. I hate hearing about things like this. I'm sorry that that was anybody's experience, and I know it doesn't have to be, which is crazy. And then Kim Kardashian wrote, I have been reading all the messages and stories from women regarding inappropriate, inexcusable behavior of a photographer that I've worked with in the past. My own experiences have always been professional, and I am deeply shocked, sad, and disappointed to learn that other women have had a very different experience, which is not that crazy because, hello, you're Kim Kardashian, a Kardashian, so of course you're not going to be you're going to be treated professionally, because someone with clout and power like you, who basically whatever their family does or touches turns into controversy or some next crazy thing that's blown up in the media, if she's going to try and cancel you, like everyone's trying to cancel her, but let's be real here, she has a lot of power, so if she wants to cancel you, you are going to get canceled. And especially now that she's practicing to become a lawyer, jeez, in a couple of years, who Father help them. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Marcus Hyde and photographers. Just make sure, support the photographers, support black businesses, support your friends, and make sure you pay them properly. Not just because especially because they're your friend, because it's important, especially if you like what they're doing and you respect their hustle and their grind. Okay, so let's get into the main topic today, and that is ASAP Rocky and being imprisoned. So I'm sure you've all heard it by now, and maybe even seen the video. How I first learned about it was the video on Twitter, where basically the caption was, apparently these guys were abusing girls or or pushed the girl, and then you just see a video of ASAP and his crew beating the shit out of them, and everyone's like, yes, Rocky, yes, yes, yes. But then, like, shortly after, he got arrested. And it's crazy because I was watching this JK News episode, and they're basically talking about how shitty the conditions were there. And, like, basically, apparently he was on solitary confinement, so 23 hours of the day he's just by himself, alone. And
only allowed aside a month, and like all the meals are barely digestible and everything, and that the U.S. what is it? Would it be the consulate or the representative? What I can't remember the name. But like when something like you're from a different country and then something happens, there's like I think it is the consulate, but basically they wouldn't allow the U.S. consulate person to come see him and talk to him, and then when they did allow him, like it was all and like really shitty, and like he says that all the other times he's come there, they're like the place is kept in poor condition, and then in the JK News article, they're basically or the episode, they're basically talking back and like putting up pictures of what the place actually looks like, which of course is bullshit, which is like I don't know what to believe, honestly, but I'm going to side with them because, not Sweden, like, I'm going to side with, like, whatever everyone else is saying because, let's be real here, like, how do I say this? Like, why would you have to defend yourself? Like, if these are things coming from ASAP and his crew and, like, even the U.S. consulate, of course it must be true. And, like, why do you have to defend yourself? If you're a prison and you think your things are being kept up to standard, that doesn't mean that's necessarily what it is. I don't know what to believe, but I don't know, especially in stuff like jail, and he's black, and as another black person. And Sweden's in Europe, which is like, white people. And I think it's crazy because Sweden, I swear, like a couple months ago, I saw on Six Buzz or somewhere on the news, which is also like not credible sources, but like Sweden was like number one or like in top with like one of the best places to live, because I think Canada's like 7 or whatever. But yeah, Sweden. Everyone always talks about Sweden in such a positive light and everything, IKEA land, and everyone's really shocked by this. But to be honest with you, the conversation I don't hear a lot of people having, which is why I'm not shocked, and I think is something to be talked about, is like, is ASAP Rocky being treated like this because he's black? Like, I know for sure what he's doing or what's happening is because they want to use him as an example because he's celebrity, and then of course everything they do is going to be put in the news and everything. So they're using ASAP Rocky as an example. That was clear from the beginning or the start. But I was also wondering if it's a race thing, because people in Sweden are Dutch or whatever, so they're white, and I don't know how many black people there are, because let's be real here, people were already getting mad at Halle Bailey for becoming the Ariel, and she's black, but there are Dutch black people with naturally red hair, so that's a entirely different topic. But yeah, so is it a race thing? Because the funny thing is, like, if this stuff would happen in the States, he'd be out already. But like, apparently you're only allowed to keep him for 2 weeks, and they kept him longer than 2 weeks. And now, like, as I was looking this up, I found out that he's been charged with assault after a brawl in Stockholm, and the lawyer Slobodan Jovinic has maintained he was defending himself after being assaulted, that his client is innocent. We think it was self-defense, but the prosecutor has chosen to go with the injured party's version, adding that very disappointed the prosecutor has chosen to go with the other party's version of this event. Sweden's public prosecutor, Daniel Swinson, fuck you, I know you're doing this because it's going to get you famous, claims A$AP Rocky and other 2 men assaulted the victim by kicking and beating him with whole or part of a glass bottle, according to court documents seen by CNN. All 3 were charged with their involvement in the brawl and will remain in custody until the trial, which will begin on Tuesday. Despite claims of self-defense and provocation after viewing the video, material witness statements, it is worth noting that I have access to a greater amount of material than what was previously available on the internet. In addition to video material, injured party statements have been supported by witness statements. The prosecutor is relying on cell phone videos, surveillance videos from the Grand Hotel, text messages from A$AP Rocky's bodyguard, where he talks about the assault and say they recorded it and text the assailant's phone, blah, 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 basically. So, before this came out, though, obviously being charged with assault, on Sunday I was at K Pucho, which is a Korean spot down in Mississauga with my girlfriend and my friend James, my best friend is James, and I asked him, do you think it's a race thing? And then he was giving me some game. And I don't know how much of this is true, but I know like the first part of what he told me definitely is true. So I'm gonna believe him with everything else he said. So basically, like he was telling me how there's an immigration problem in Europe, and I know that's true. That you see it all the time that there are migrants dying on boats, or people not, or them not being allowed to get into certain countries, especially Greece or whatever. Highly like I would say like the more like the longer lasting civilizations, like the people that have been countries or civilizations for a long time. So like Britain, Greece, Portugal, Spain. A lot of them are not happy with all these migrants. Who, let's be real here, a lot of them are Muslim, which already has a bad connotation. A lot of them have really dark skin, so double whammy. So all these black, dark-skinned Muslim people are being denied, or they're coming into the country, but a lot of the people don't want them there. And whether that is propaganda from, people already having a negative connotation of ISIS and Taliban and everything that's being the rhetoric within the news, or it's just I don't know, a racism thing, or a combination of the two, or like an even bigger issue, because I don't know the history of Europe or Sweden or whatever, so I don't know if they were fighting with Arabs back in the day and whatever, that's why they don't like them. But basically, so there was already this huge problem with like immigration and all these dark skinned people. So what he also told me was that basically where the incident occurred, it's like here in Toronto or Canada, where you don't go to Jane and Finch, Scarborough, or you don't go to other man's ends, certain ends, if you don't know them there, because they're gonna wonder why you're there, and they're gonna, you might get robbed, killed, whatever. The streets aren't safe. So basically, Rocky and his crew were in one of those neighborhoods, and in this neighborhood or area is highly, what do you say? Highly populated with a lot of the immigrants. And let's just be real that he said these places aren't the greatest areas to be around. And I'm assuming the locals who live there, who aren't Muslim or part of the immigrants, they don't go there either. So basically, Rocky and his crew were there, and then these people, I guess, hood mentality, they want to know where you at and who you from. But I feel like ASAP Rocky is big enough, or like, I don't know, if there's a crew of them and there's a bodyguard, they must be important, or you must have a sense of that they're important. But apparently they kept following him around and wouldn't leave them alone, and they're like, yo, just leave us alone, we don't want this turned to an incident. But they continued, they persisted. And then apparently also, I guess the part right before they get beat up is where like the girl says, oh, they harassed us too, or they touched me, or they pushed me, whatever. And that's when they all got their asses beat, which, to be real here, they kind of deserved it. Because I know, like, if you're gonna come at, first of all, Rocky's from like Harlem, Bronx, and those niggas they're not nice. So if you want to come at someone with all that kind of energy and everything, you better get ready. You better be down. And he was down, and his entire crew got their ass whooped. So like all of them are saying like they got beaten and everything, but like it's on them. They're like, yo, leave us alone, we don't want an incident. And if there's a bodyguard saying like, yo, leave us, we're good, and I'm pretty sure they knew who ASAP Rocky was, but they continued persisted him, and you get your ass beat, to be honest, I think they're being little bitches too, because if that was really the hood, that's just how the hood goes. Like, if you step up to someone and they step back and you get your ass whooped, usually what happens next is like there's a shootout or whatever. But like you have to accept the fact that you got your ass handed to you. But because I feel like the prosecutors, Sweden, these idiots are using Rocky because he's famous and because they have money to use an example of him and try to act a fool with him. And like it's bad when even like Donald Trump like Kanye talked to him, and now he talked to the president or the prime minister of Sweden. But then Rocky got charged, and they're gonna go to court on Tuesday. So I don't even know how that's gonna go. And but they're not in the foreign court of law either. So I also feel like, I don't know, I'm a political science minor, so maybe I should look this up and research it a bit. But I feel like in cases like this, can't they be extradited back to the U.S. or whatever? Because like, and deal with it on their own terms. But I feel like Sweden wouldn't want to do that because that they wouldn't be able to make an example of them this way. But like, it's not a good look, and I feel like something like that. Well, maybe not Donald Trump, but like if it was a different president, for sure, so the way how they're treating him definitely wouldn't fly with a lot of other people. So that's just my hot take on it. Like, it's not like he beat up some random people like in the busy downtown street. He was in the hood, and Hoodman stepped up. So if you're gonna step up, don't be mad or don't be calling police. Like, that's the least Hoodman thing you can do. Don't be like backing down and changing it and like, oh my god, we got beat. Whatever. That's on you, bro. If anything, if I was them and I got beat up by ASAP Rocky, I wouldn't be proud of it. But like, that's the band I would wear. I wouldn't try and go. I wouldn't try and like. I don't care how much money they're giving me. That's street cred. Like, this country, you're in this country that's already treating you like shit, that have you up in the freaking hood and the projects, and then they're gonna go and try and use you as a tool or as a pawn to further their own game to, I don't know, attack black people or attack U.S. citizens because they have a problem with the United States, or maybe a combination of the both. And they're being, I think personally, they're being used too, because let's be real here, they got their asses whooped, but they're not dying. They're not dead. So and if you're from the hood, that should be nothing. Like, if you're escaping war-torn countries where like there's like bombs and shootings and you're watching all your friends and family get murdered in front of you, I don't think the biggest thing on your mind is you're getting your ass beat because you wouldn't freaking leave people alone when they told you to. But that's just my 2 cents. I don't know. I think it's crazy, but I definitely think, I don't know, to me, it's a race thing. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna say it or it's gonna be brought up, but I don't know, like, just, it's like the Jesse Smollett thing. It's just way too fishy. Like, even like diving into that, I think, of course, he lied or whatever, but the fact that we believed it, and just the way how the Chicago police were running, especially in a place like Chicago where like the police have been known to do crazy shit like falsify and like frame people. So like, I think they're both in the wrong. And then the fact that all his charges were dropped and there was this big payout and everything, like, there's a lot of things that's messed up with that. And like, I feel like people, I don't know, at least when I was like looking at it, people weren't really talking about that, but it's crazy. So like, I don't believe the police, but I don't side with Smollett on that either. But I just think it's crazy what's happening right now. But that's just me. That's just my 2 cents on that. Okay, and a last little quick segment before you go. I just wanted to talk about this whole Area 51 thing. Like, I know it's an event on Facebook and it's a lot of memes, so it's really funny and everything. But I think it's just crazy what the internet will go through. Like, and it's also going back like the Naruto run thing. Everyone's like, if everyone runs in Naruto run, North and South flank, they can't stop us all. And like, even the U.S. Marine Corps that says it's a training base, so don't do it. I think it's crazy that an idea, a concept, or a joke can just be tweeted or posted out somewhere, and it can blow up to like massive amounts. It gets to the point where it's like 1.7 or 2 million people are interested in going to this event, which isn't even really real, and it's a joke. But it got people on. This is happening in America, but it got people like in Canada on CP24, which is like one of our, I don't know, like our CNN or whatever, people talking about it. So I think it's a little crazy. And like, there's another thing that I've been seeing on Twitter a lot, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really pissing me off. Like, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've been a part of it, I hate you. But like, basically, there'll be like a photo or whatever, and then the caption will be, I don't even know how to say it, SCOPA2MANAA. So Skupatumana. And I looked it up because first it was bothering me because I'm like, what language is it? But basically, it's like some sort of crazy ass slang or made up word. And basically, it's like just drop your opinion. And like, what pisses me off about it, it's kind of like unpopular opinion, where like everyone thinks they have this wild, crazy, unpopular opinion, but it's not really that crazy or unpopular. It's actually quite common. So like the I don't know. Is it internet or is social media also killing our creativity? Because certain things you just keep to yourself. Like I know this whole podcast is just me talking my opinions, and you just take it as whatever. But like I don't know. I feel like a lot of the stuff I see here, like I see one meeting family. Unless I see a future with you, you ain't meeting my family. Like no shit. Like that's so stupid. Like of course, why would you? I don't know, but I feel like there are people that just bring whoever they're sleeping with or whatever to meet their family, and their family is like whatever. But like, who even cares, bro? Let me try and find some more. Like, and it's like super basic. So I guess I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, where it's like you don't have to post that. Like, who cares? Another one, Sukupatumana, and it's like pictures of Olivia Benson, which you don't know who that is, which I actually didn't know her like real name in real life, but it's like the main woman on Law and Order SVU and everything. It's like Olivia Benson is the Beyonce of crime TV show. Don't fuck with her, period. Which is like that one wasn't as bad, but like see what I mean? Keep that to yourself. Like I don't know. Everyone thinks she's great. I don't know anyone that really complains about her, because if there really was, would she still be on TV after all these years? Like that's crazy. I've been watching her since I was like a kid. My sister loved Law and Order SVU, so like every night, that's how we'd like bond. We'd like it used to be on at like 9, and it came on at 10. And they started coming on at 12. So like every night we just watch Law and Order. Crazy. But let me see if I could find like 2 more to try and hammer what I'm saying home. But like yeah, the internet for sure, just it takes mediocrity or something that's like so. And I know like it's also the internet, so you shouldn't take it too seriously, but like also when you just see it every day all the time, especially when there's a lot of things that are getting reposted, so things that you've seen like 20,000 times before, like a lot of stuff I'm seeing that I used to see on Tumblr, which I don't use anymore because one, like they completely changed the platform, and 2, I'm just not that, I don't have that teenage angst in me that drove me to use Tumblr so much. But yeah, crap, maybe I won't be able to see anymore. But like I hope people are getting my point, where like yeah, or there'll be like photos like no one, and then like McDonald, I see one with McDonald's Sprite, or it'll be like no one, and then it's just random ass joke. You can't even dance to Kendrick Lamar, and then it's like Terrio dancing, like all these like random things that I know it's like all in fun and jest. But what bothers me is like some of these things that are like just supposed to be funny or whatever, and then people go on these random tangents about how it's affected their family and whatever. And like I hate outrage culture and cancel culture, because like it takes away the seriousness from all issues. Like I know, gosh, there's like this narrative that like if something hurt, like that's another thing I saw yesterday, where it's like don't let anyone tell you that you're being too sensitive or too hurt. If it hurts you, it hurts you. Which is like, yeah, but like also no one cares. Like there's like there are things that hurt me or I'm a little sensitive about, but like I'm not gonna go and write a freaking rant or a very serious rant tangent on it on the internet, because like let's focus on things like cleaning our oceans, or catching rapists and pedophiles, or getting corrupt cops or corrupt government, like feeding the poor. And like it's not that also in and of itself, what I'm saying sounds like things that I see online too that probably pisses other people off. But like I'm being real here. Like we have actual issues, and like I know Twitter and Instagram and Facebook are our own little diaries, but when I see, but like it gets kind of annoying when you're just trying to sit down and like, because when I first got Twitter like 2012 or like 2013, it was all about the jokes, and now it's come to be like a meeting ground for SJWs. And if you freaking post the wrong thing or breathe the wrong way, they come after you, and I think that's just nuts. But that's just me. Just there's another one I see, and it's like noodles, and it's like one isn't enough, and two is too much. I guess we're talking about like the using a pack, which is true. Like, see, like it's like little things, but like it's not profound. Like people, a lot of things. Soup to mana, anal sex, vagina for sex, anus for passing feces. Treat them as such, and you'll live a long life. Like, yeah, it's just basically people like putting on their opinion, and like, man, it hurts me because I think some of these things people are actually being dead ass serious, and they're not really problems or issues, or not problems that issues that should be to the forefront that everyone should be tweeting or liking. You know what I mean? But that's all I gotta say for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, and here's one last word from our sponsor. And to finish off, the sponsors for today's videos. So today I talked about two of my friends who are really dope out in the game right now, so I'm gonna shout them out. So one of my good friends, Miles, that I grew up with, dope photographer, dope videographer. You should check out his Instagram, and it's Air Miles VSLS. So it's AIRMYLES.VSLS. He's really dope. You can check out. He does credits for creators of ATL. He shot my friend Alante's music video. His page is really dope, so for sure check him out. I think he's dope. He's cool, nice guy. And then another friend that I spoke about, you can check out Shots by Rennie, or Shot by Rennie. So SHOTBYRENI, Shot by Rennie. And you should also check out her creative firm, which is Season 3, because I've seen her doing a lot of posts for that. So that's SEASONTHREE, Season 3. She has some pregnancy photos, couple photos, really dope. So hope you support them like I'm supporting them, and I wish them all the best. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.